You're watching Two Button Crew.
The daily show for Nintendo fans.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Simeon.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us. Scott, we like talking about good things.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we like talking about more than good things?
Controls in video games.
A good answer, but we like talking about the bad stuff. I think everybody likes to complain.
Yeah.
We're no different, and Nintendo... Everybody knows that Nintendo makes good games. We're not one of those channels that says, oh, Nintendo sucks and we're going to point out all the reasons why. No.
But nor can they do no wrong.
Yeah. It's not like Nintendo's perfect. So we want to be balanced enough and say, this is the daily show for Nintendo fans, and we want to love on Nintendo as much as we can. But come on. Nintendo, you put out some bad games. Yeah. Or games that have bad controls, I should say. Not necessarily bad games, but games that don't have good controls.
Some of these might have plenty of merit, so we'll have to address these one by one.
Indeed.
Starting with number 10.
Number 10 is Wii Sports. Now, Wii Sports was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
But I think we should have probably included this in our most disappointing first-party games because they marketed this as you move the remote and the stuff on the screen moves with you. And we saw really good controls like with Excite Truck.
Yeah.
We saw really tight controls where you move a little bit and the truck moves. But we have Wii Sports, which, let's be honest, is a waggle fest. Like the bowling probably had the tightest controls of all of it. But really, you just go like this for the tennis, like, oh, the ball's coming at me, freak out.
Freak out.
Yeah. They freak.
Toy Story.
Freak out. Yes, yeah. Toy Story 3, that scene. But anyway, yes, it was a waggle fest, and it
definitely could be. It didn't prohibit it from being a waggle fest.
Right.
I mean, baseball was fairly accurate as far as
the
bat, but when it came to pitching,
just slap your thigh. And
I saw my family would do this. One of my brother-in-law, he put a hand over the sensor because he thought that would make the remote think that his hand was the ceiling and it was going a lot faster or something. I don't know. All right, number 9 is Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Also a good game. I did beat it and I enjoyed it. But it had this crazy thing where he had like more momentum than you would think. And a lot of it was very platforming based.
Yes.
And rather than being like a side scroller like Mario, it was extremely vertical based. Even more so than Metroid. It was just like a ton of climbing, like block to block to block. And you had to jump and hold up to stop when you landed. If you weren't holding a direction, you would just slide off the edge. So that was like the trick. To be able to beat Kid Icarus, you had to point your arrow up as you're jumping around.
And so you talked about this vertical scrolling. So if you were scrolling up and you happen to miss a jump and go back down to where you were, you're dead, right?
Yeah, don't go down to where you were. You die.
You die.
Yep.
Wow.
It was harsh.
Harsh indeed. Number 8 is Wii Sports Resort. So Wii Sports wasn't what people were expecting.
Well, the fact that they put out the Motion Plus, it signifies that.
Yeah, it signifies. They admit by putting out the Wii Motion Plus, it's like, okay, we lied to you. Here's the fix. Yeah. And for the most part, it works pretty well.
It's better.
But let me just say the kayaking, okay? Have you even played the kayaking since you bought the game?
I don't know.
No, you haven't, because the controls are so bad.
I remember archery fondly.
Yeah,
what
archery.
Else? Maybe the sword fighting.
Basketball was all right.
But there were so many forgettable ones.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the frisbee golf was all right. Bowling was pretty much the same as Wii Sports. Like there was almost no difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nintendo, you wanted to improve, but you really didn't.
Super Mario 64 DS, a remake that was maybe a little bit too early. I think Super Mario 64 remake on the 3DS would be perfect, but they attempted on the DS, which, if you remember, just had a D-pad.
Right.
So they did this really crazy jury-rigged analog stick, where the game shipped with a wristband that connected to your 3DS. The wristband looped around, and you would fasten it around your thumb, and there was a little stylus-like patch of hard plastic, and you would like grip the DS in the middle and use your thumb with the strap as a joystick.
I did not know about this.
It was kind of crazy. Didn't work that well.
It must not have, because I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, so I
Why?
mean, that's when you know you're just trying to shoehorn it onto a system. Just wait for the system that it's going to be at home on, because there isn't the same tactile, resistance as an analog stick, and you don't have as good of a sense of where it is. So it was a bad solution.
Wow, Nintendo. Number 6 is Mario Bros. Not Super Mario Bros.
No.
I've complained about those controls enough, but the original Mario Bros. Where you're in the sewers and you're bopping the Koopas and whatever.
Yeah.
So, like you talked about with Kid Icarus, the momentum.
Mm.
That's one thing that Nintendo had a really difficult time with, and I think we're going to talk about some more problems with momentum coming up, but the jumping wasn't quite right, and the skidding and everything. You go from that to something like even the original Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers 3 especially.
Yeah.
And you go, what were they thinking?
I played a Mario Bros. Remake on the Game Boy Advance originally.
That's what I was thinking
and those
of.
were pristine.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Wii came out and the first Mario game on the Virtual Console was Mario Bros., I excitedly bought it, and then I found exactly what you described.
Yes.
It was a letdown.
No bueno.
Number 5, Kid Icarus Uprising. Sakurai put a lot of time into this game. It even kind of delayed Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS coming out. And it's a good experience. It has a lot of funny characters.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good game. But you couldn't use the Circle Pad Pro. They specifically made this attachment for the 3DS, which is a giant boat that you set your handheld in, and then you get 2 sticks. Well, Kid Icarus used so much computing power that it couldn't compute any more input. So they made this kind of weird control system. The game shipped with this plastic holding device that you set your 3DS on so that you don't have to like grip it and cramp your hands and everything. But a lot of people did not make it through that game because they don't have hands this big, and it was extremely uncomfortable.
So, question.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Circle Pad Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not compatible with Smash Brothers, correct? And it's not compatible with Kid Icarus Uprising.
Right.
What is it compatible for, and what is it useful for?
It's compatible with like a third-party game. It's like, I don't know, Resident Evil or something.
Well, at least they're supporting their third-party people.
Yeah.
Really, Nintendo? Really? Wow.
What's your number 4?
Number 4. Let's move on. The original Mario Party, and I think everybody knows why this is on there. Mario Party 2 fixed what was wrong with the original Mario Party, which is, well, it didn't fix the entire problem because they didn't scrap the Nintendo 64 controller entirely, but there was no more of this thing where you had to grip it and
just trying to be more Christ-like.
What?
In the hole in the hand.
What in the world?
It's pretty funny, right? Okay.
Oh my goodness. I guess so, but it would put a hole in your hand. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And why would you think that was a good idea? Okay, mash a button as fast as you can. Okay, I can get that. Some people can make that okay, but doing this?
Yeah.
No.
Number 3 is Twilight Princess. No wonder this game is getting remade.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Wii, this is specifically the version I'm talking about, and they took really good advantage of the pointer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They did that well.
Yeah.
It was fun using the arrows and the claw shots and double claw shots and everything. But waggling with the sword is the worst decision that they made on this entire game.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, it was exciting. We were getting the Wii, and everybody wanted that feeling of the sword in their hands. But if you weren't going to be able to pull it off, then it shouldn't have been
such a core.
half-baked. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going like this just takes one of your most serious and mature and beloved franchises and kind of doing a disservice to it in a big way.
And after hours of questing, which is, of course, what you're going to do.
Right.
That's not a game that you just pick up and play
Yeah.
for a couple minutes.
So look forward to that on
Yeah.
Wii U in March.
Indeed. Get rid of the waggle. Okay, number 2 is... Can I have a drum roll? Oh my gosh, why do we have to talk about this again?
Yeah.
Wii Music. Okay, first of all, the whole setup with Wii Music, the way that they did it was wrong. But so many of the instruments I would refuse to play because it was based on motion controls. Like, they had flute things where you just press buttons.
Any button you wanted, wasn't it? It just had to be like rhythm based.
Yeah. Well, it didn't have to be anything. This is like one of those schools that you send to your kid where your kid can do whatever they want.
Yeah. And at the end of the level, you get your participation award.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's, an unlockable for doing nothing. But it, like, I would want to, like, I'm like, oh, this is a really cool song. I want to play the guitar. Playing the guitar is like, darn, 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 darn. It's so inconsistent. It'll read motions where there aren't, and it won't read the motions that you do have. And Wii Music was a great idea.
Yeah.
It really, really was, but the execution on it was so terrible. So yeah, Wii Music.
Closely falling behind. Number 1, Ice Climbers.
Yes.
The platforming game with the worst controls in the world. The worst jumping and momentum feeling in any game I've ever played. I have attempted Animal Crossing, Ice Climbers a couple of times and just gotten nowhere with it. Been so frustrated, and I cannot believe it was included in NES Remix. It doesn't deserve to be alive anymore, and I'm glad they're out of Smash Bros.
Jeez, I know how you feel now. I remember playing on NES Remix too, the Ice Climber levels, and being so frustrated at trying the same level over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I think I've got a hang of the controls, but the momentum and everything had to be exactly spot on.
Right.
And no.
There's no correction whatsoever.
No.
It's like, oh, you're a millisecond off?
Yeah, you're dead.
Yep.
You're dead. And especially with NES Remix where it was timed so tightly. Yeah. Ice Climbers.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe, and most of all, to share with your friends.
We'll see you next time.
Signing out.